5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to day 25. Holy shit. Day 25 of National Podcast Post Month here on the Odd Dad Out podcast. And yeah, sorry, that just kind of snuck up on me there. Son of a bitch. That's just a crazy thing now, isn't it? It's actually like, holy shit, it's the 25th. There's only 5 days left this month. Whoa. It's almost over, guys. And I've almost done it. I'm sorry. I realized that I've gotten closer to the end of this crazy adventure that has become National Podcast Post Month. And this journey that I've been on, that I'm almost there. That is the craziest thing. I am so much closer than I got last year. And I know I keep referencing that, and I know I need to go back and look, but you know, that takes time. Okay, I did it. I stopped. I went. I looked back because I've said it like 20 times so far. I actually did 23 episodes last month. I keep saying last month. I did 23 episodes last year. And that includes doing full episodes every week. So I actually did all of the regular episodes for the week, unlike what I've done this year, where I've basically just spread out the content throughout the week. And I'll say this year, the episodes have been better. They've had, even when it's, you know, maybe 5 minutes, it's a better 5 minutes than the 5 minutes I did last year. And again, like I've said, last year I was half dead for most of it. The primary difference between the daily shows and the main show was that last year's daily shows were 90% live, and they were going live streamed out and no editing, no nothing. It was just, hey, this is what you got. And the main show was getting edited and cleaned up and all that stuff. So there's that. But realistically, I probably produced as much content in the month as I have this year, minus the interviews. But I've also, again, I'm enjoying what I'm doing this year better. I'm more on it. My equipment's better. B, my software is better. My skills are better. I am a better podcaster today than I was this time last year. And I think that's probably the most important thing for me right now, really, is that I have learned so much in the last year. Never mind the preceding 2 years before that I've still been podcasting. But in the last year, I've learned so much. I've grown so many relationships. But again, it's the whole, I'm learning more about doing this whole thing, and I'm getting better at it. And again, I've developed my skills to a point where now I'm editing other podcasts professionally. You know, small scale, but I'm still doing it. And I'm using this and I'm trying to make something of it. And, you know, again, I've gone back to, and I've told other people about this whole doing this every day. And the fact that I do this every day, same day, is that this entire thing that I do and this whole month-long thing has been a massive workshop in improvisation. Because again, I'm just dumping my head out. And I think the best reaction I got was when Paul Chomo was on and he asked me if the shows were recorded a day early. I was like, no, this is day of. And and I think I get that reaction from a lot of people. And there are other podcasters I know who, for the most part, actually record day of. I know, generally speaking, Emily Prokop actually records day of, and she'll post up things on Instagram and on Twitter and in the story behind Facebook group and things, pictures of her recording or posts about being up until 1 a.m. recording or something like that in order to release a show. Or, yeah, I'm really behind schedule and, you know, oh, kids got me up, or, you know, hey, I'm recording in the car. But, you know, some people, and especially in her case, because she has such a short show and it's scripted, it's easier for her technically, and she's, I'd say, better editor and more streamlined in her process than I am. Maybe. I mean, I've got it pretty streamlined at this point. With the way I'm set up now, my process is so set that I don't have to do much. I really don't. But like the biggest part now is lining up and drag the music over and set it, and it's kind of there, and it's kind of nice. It is. But it's kind of funny that, there are some people who do these shows who do have a lot of editing involved in their shows, who have a lot of production, and who have a good chunk of work they have to do that, especially when they have a co-host, but they have to record way ahead of time. And most people have to record way ahead of time. And most people cannot carry on a somewhat cohesive, and if you could call anything that I say somewhat cohesive, but carry on a somewhat cohesive conversation with the audience or whoever might be out there listening. Hitman sitting outside my window, I don't know right now because they're blacked out. But whoever is out there listening, you right there, there are a lot of people that cannot carry on that conversation by themselves. There's a reason why so many podcasts are co-hosted. You have somebody to chat with. You have somebody to talk to. I have to basically play this like I'm an afternoon drive DJ and I don't have any music. That's basically how this show kind of runs. I have to run this as if I'm talking to the masses, but I'm talking to you right there. You right there sitting there in your car all by yourself. I'm only talking to you. Just you. Can't you? All right. But I get to do that just off the top of my head. And it is something that most people, and I'm not bragging here, this is just my ability to talk, but it's something that most people can't do. And it is a skill that I have, but, it also leaves me in quite a predicament, because I'm in a situation where I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I don't have one of those crazy minds. I'm not an Alex Jones or any of those people who go out there and might say something off the top of their head, but they say something completely radical and offensive, and, they're going to get hate speech. So it's really weird for me being in the position I'm in, where I improv 90% of this show. 5% of it is sound effects. Don't quote me on the math. And the other 5% are the general summation of an article or of a podcast description. Everything else is just crap falling out of my head. But the fact that I do this live, or not live, but I do this, just on the fly. I just do this, and that I continue, that I've improved myself to a point where I feel like I can get on mic, and I have been able to get on mic every day with few exceptions and have a meaningful something kind of conversation with you. And at least for the handful of you that have listened every day, and I will say, yes, numbers have gone because of when you're posting every day, and there goes my phone. When you're posting every day, the numbers drop because not everybody's going to be brave enough to listen to you every day. But damn, if I am not appreciative of the handful of you that have stuck with this every day. I totally am understanding of all of the people who have not been listening every day, because I know it's a lot to handle. Absolutely, it's a lot to handle every single day. There are some people who do a show every single day, and great, and they're providing tons of information. They're educating you. You're getting some value from their show other than just pure entertainment. That's not me. I'm just entertainment. You're not learning anything from me. Shit, if you're learning anything from me, you might need to go back to school, maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. No judging. No shade, but I haven't taught shit. Okay, I taught you how to make a Thanksgiving dinner. And one thing, and I'll say this, I've got to do this before the whole thing is out, and it'll probably be somewhere later in the week. No, it'll probably be like Tuesday or Wednesday, because I realized I've got to do news. I've got to do recommended listening. I'm putting them at the end of the week. That's just where they're living now. Granted, I've still got to get ready for next week. I've got this week coming up. It's the last week. The week after this, we're back to normal. I'm not doing this every day. I suddenly have more fucking time. That's going to be the thing, is that as the season of podcast marathon is wrapping up, it's also coming into the holiday season, and some work is wrapping up as some shows are going on breaks for holidays and things like that. Work is thinning out a little bit, and I'm going to have more time. And so it's interesting to see what's going to happen with me and with my business side over the holidays. But, it also means more time with the kids. It means getting a little more, more rest over the holidays. And, granted, I still got a week of this, but it'll be interesting to see kind of how I feel after this is all done. In another week when I'm not recording every day, when I don't have to sit in my car at 11:30 at night talking into my phone because I didn't have time to record a show just because of work. I don't have that problem next Saturday. As of next Saturday, that problem is over. But this has been fun. And it makes me want to produce more shows. It makes me want to do more things. But it's all a matter of, what do you want? Do you want more of me? Do you want me to do another type of show? That's a thing that I've kind of been tinkering about. And it's something I wanted to ask my guests when they were here. But the guests themselves and doing a show with guests is something I still would like to do. And I need to go back to the guests I've had on. I need to go to my list of people who volunteered, said, hey, we'll come on and be guests. Because I actually, for all of my introvertedness, I do love talking to people. I love getting to share stories and just BSing with people. And as you've heard from my conversations with Derek, with Paul, way back with Mike Jolitz, with my sisters when they came on, it's just fun having a conversation. And that's what I want. But to do that show takes a little more work. But I want to do it. I do want to do it. And it's going to be something. If something ever comes of that, it's going to be a fun thing to do. But I'm rambling. Not that I haven't been rambling the whole time. But I want to save some of this because I do have all of these thoughts. And the month's not over yet. So I think I'm going to call it a night and pass this off to you in internet podcast listener land, that beautiful place where you listen to the soothing sounds of my voice deep inside your ears, bowels of your brain. I don't know. I had an idea of where to go with that and I just lost it. Yeah, that's what happens. Anyway, thank you so much for checking me out today. You are awesome. You know the drill. Subscribe to the show, deadoutpodcast.com. I'm probably, what I'm thinking, going to string all of these whole things, just take the little note snippets and drop them all together on one big post, one big page, so that if you want to go back to them, you can. I'm probably also going to pull all of these out of this feed and drop them into a separate feed in another. I'll probably wait until the end of the year. At the end of the year, I'll probably break off all of these into a new feed, and they'll live there. But that's a thing for a later date. Again, subscribe to the show on your favorite podcatcher, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of the places. You know the places. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at OddDadOut. And don't forget, there's a group. There's a Facebook group, Twisted World of the Odd Dad Out. Maybe I need to come up with a new name for it. But until that point, thank you and good night.